biggest misconceptions when I first started solo traveling was that the whole point of solo travel is to be alone, right? To be in your own company the entire time. When I realized that that was false, a whole new world of solo travel opportunity opened itself up to me. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I chat a lot about solo travel here, and today we are talking about how to make friends while you're traveling abroad as a solo traveler. I realized that solo traveling actually sets you up to not be so alone, to meet a lot of people. It is easier to meet people and make new friends while you are traveling solo because you tend to be more approachable, and you're also more likely to extend and reach out to other people who are around you, versus when you're traveling with people, we tend to be insular and just stay focused on our companions. But if you are planning a solo trip, or you have solo traveled before and struggled to make friends while doing so, I'm going to share 7 tips with you today so that you can set yourself up for higher chances of meeting people the next time you take a solo trip. These are all techniques, all things that I have done that have worked well for me, so I hope that they help you too. The first and one of the most obvious ways for how to meet people is through booking shared accommodations. Now, in my 20s, this used to mean hostels, and I loved staying at hostels because it was so easy to meet people. I haven't stayed in a hostel for a really long time, and I don't really want to or plan to. There are hostels that have private rooms, so that might be something you want to consider if you are open to the hostel idea but don't want to share a room with 12 other people. But this could also look like booking shared accommodations in an Airbnb. What I mean by this is booking a room in someone's home instead of booking an Airbnb that's all to yourself. So this worked out really well for me in Costa Rica. I actually did it out of necessity. There just wasn't a lot available that was affordable in the area where I was. And so I last minute booked a place in this woman's home she was a local to Costa Rica. We ended up becoming great friends, and we still wish each other happy birthday all the time. I still go and see her every time I'm in Costa Rica. And she had 2 rooms that she would rent out. So I got to meet her, but I also got to meet all of the other guests that cycled through. And this worked out really well for me. It was a sort of a hostel on a much smaller, cleaner, nicer scale. And then finally, something that I haven't yet tried, but I really am itching to try, is co-living spaces. So if you do any kind of nomading or any kind of working while you're traveling, look into co-living spaces where people are kind of in that same boat. They tend to have their days to do their work and then plan organized group events as ways for you all to socialize and see the destination that you are in. Another way, number 2, to meet people while you are traveling that I don't think is talked about enough is by joining Facebook groups of people with like interests, specifically travelers. I actually have a guide to the 7 Facebook groups I believe every solo female traveler should join that I will put a link to in the show description. Essentially, what you can do is when you arrive in a new destination, or even before you arrive, you can put a message in the group and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I will be here. Does anyone want to meet for a coffee or for lunch? Or does anyone want to join me on whatever excursion you're planning? I used this in Florence, and I met some other Pakistani travelers. They were actually from Pakistan. I'm Pakistani, but obviously from the United States. We met up for a little bit in Florence. It is a fun way to connect people while you are traveling. It feels maybe a little less intimidating than going up and talking to someone in person and initiating dialogue. You can find fellow travelers in your same destination through Facebook groups. A third way that you can make friends where you are traveling is through your existing network by asking if any of your friends have friends in the destination where you are visiting. So you can put out a call. In the past, I have done this on Instagram where I've said, hey, I'm going to such and such destination. Does anybody know anyone there who you would want to connect me with that we can, get coffee and hang out with? You could put this out on your Facebook if you want. Wherever you have a way to reach people, put it out and, message your friends individually. Just see who knows someone somewhere else. And that way you're connecting with someone who's been vetted by one of your own friends or someone in your network. Another approach to this I have not tried, but it's an idea I have. You could look up your alma mater, wherever you went to school, or any kind of professional group that you might be a part of, or any society, maybe even your company that you work for if it's a global company. You could look up people on LinkedIn who also went to that same school or are part of that same professional society or company or whatever. Could say, I see we both went to whatever school. I'm actually going to be visiting Would you want to meet up? I'd love to connect with a fellow alum. Another way to connect with new people, meet new friends while you are traveling is through an app that is literally designed for it. Bumble BFF. Forget the dating part of it. I mean, I don't know where you're at with those, but forget the dating part of it. On the Bumble app, there is a place just designed for meeting friends. I used this most recently and the most in Rome, and I met several different friends while I was spending a few months living in Rome off of Bumble BFF. One thing to be mindful of is that people who are local to a place, so people who were living in Rome, sometimes didn't want to meet up with me because they are looking to build friendships, like longer term friendships, and I was just going to leave. But I still met several amazing women on there. We went out. I had people, to get dinner with. I had people to walk around the city with. It was really nice. And we are still connected actually on Instagram. So when I was there recently, I tried to meet up with them, and they were traveling, so we weren't able to make it work. But Bumble BFF is a great way. Don't knock it. Don't knock it till you try it. A fifth way, meetups or Eventbrite. So look at Eventbrite for the destination where you'll be in and see if there's anything that is of interest to you that is going on. That's an event you can join. This is a really cool way to meet people because you're likely to meet like-minded people. If you're going to the same kind of events, then you likely have something to talk about and some common interests to explore when you meet. You can also do a meetup. There are all kinds of different meetups. There are language meetups, there are hobby meetups all around the world. Once you're already in a destination and you want to meet someone and the online thing's not cutting it, you just kind of want to be in a group and be socializing, but you don't know how to orchestrate that, I highly recommend booking some group tours. And this does not have to be a pub crawl. I have made friends on day trips. I have made friends in cooking classes, on food tours, all kinds of different ways. And when I say make friends, it's when you hit it off with someone who you meet in one of these organized excursions, and then you decide to swap information and continue hanging out afterwards. My most recent example, and I talk about this in my Oaxaca City video, is I met a friend on a day trip we took, and then she and I continued to meet up throughout our trip while we were both in Oaxaca City and did other things, saw the city together, saw the sights, got dinner together. So it's a really fun way and a low pressure way to meet people. Finally, this is last for a reason because it's sort of you can do this, you really can do anything. It's to go out and actually meet someone in the wild. I have a story for you. I have done this a couple times successfully that I can remember, right? That are most memorable for me. The first one is again in Oaxaca City. I one day went to a food truck. I talk about this in that video, but I went to a food truck. There were 3 of us waiting for this food truck to open. We ended up striking up conversation. What was going to be a solo visit to a food truck for me and a solo dinner ended up being talking with these 2 other solo travelers over dinner at this food cart in Oaxaca City. And one of the women and I really hit it off, and so we also met up for drinks the following day. My most daring way that I have met someone that I am honestly still proud of myself for. So if you're not willing to try this out the gate, I totally understand. It took me a long time to work up to this. One time on my recent visit to Madrid, I went to a cocktail bar by myself. I had a friend who had put me on to the world's 50 best bars list, and there was one in Madrid. I took myself out to a solo dinner, which was delicious and fun, a little awkward, but great. And then I was like, I'm gonna do this. I am gonna go to a cocktail bar by myself. And I did. At first, they sat me at this booth. I'm like, why would you sit a solo person at this big booth? And I was next to groups of people who were with their own groups, and they weren't really looking to meet people. Finally, a bigger group came in, so they kicked me out off that booth area and moved me to the bar. Now, pro tip, just ask to be seated at the bar. I don't know why I didn't do that, but they moved me to the bar. There was a woman seated next to me. I couldn't tell if she was there alone or if she was there with someone for a while, but I eventually struck up conversation over the lamest thing. I don't know. I think it was the bar snacks, the popcorn. I said something, and the first time I struck up conversation, I felt like I had crashed and burned because she didn't really register a response. It didn't really seem like she was interested in talking to me, and I don't know what came over me, but I tried again. And I really proceed with caution on that because you want to be respectful of other people's space. I probably would not have tried a 3rd, 4th, 5th time, read the room. If someone doesn't seem interested in engaging, back off. But I did try a 2nd time. Something compelled me, and I received a very different kind of response from her. She had opened up, she was warm. Turned out she was from Germany, but wanted to live in Madrid. We follow each other on Instagram, so I know that she since has made that dream come true. She and I then went bar hopping around Madrid because she knew the area really well. We went to some places where she had other friends. Then I was spending some time in Frankfurt, and she was also going to be there later on in my trip, a couple weeks later, and we met up for coffee in Frankfurt. Like I said, we're now Instagram friends, and you better believe the next time I go to Madrid, I'm gonna hit her up and say, hey, are you around, let's meet up, let's connect. So those are some tips. I think these are really good starting points. Again, these have all worked for me. I get it. You can definitely rely on the magic of being solo in a new place and meeting people, and you may or may not. You just stay open. That may or may not happen for you. But if you for sure want to interact with other people and have the possibility of making friends while you're traveling, then try any of these methods. A lot of them are more structured. You're bound to meet people if you go to a meetup. You're bound to meet people, right, if you actively are searching for a friend on Bumble BFF. So go give this a shot. And these are your ways to meet people while you are solo traveling. Before I close out this video, I do just want to give one little safety note. I mean, you're all adults, I assume, if you're watching this. I just want to make sure to say that anytime you are solo traveling and meeting new people, proceed with some degree of caution. Now, this is not to say don't trust anyone and don't make friends and have your guard up high all the time, but it is to say trust your gut, be really mindful of your surroundings, be really mindful of how much and what you are sharing with the person. You don't have to say that you are traveling solo. You don't need to give your exact dates if you're posting something in a Facebook group. You don't need to post your photo on there, right? You don't need to give too much information. Definitely don't need to tell anybody where you are staying. Pick designated meeting points to meet up with people. Tell someone back home, like have someone either tracking your location or have your whereabouts just in case. Unfortunately, because of the world that we live in, I told you that I met someone at a cocktail bar and then we went bar hopping. Like, I was very mindful of my intake and my limits. So definitely be aware. And especially if you're going to a bunch of different locations with someone, don't lose sight of that awareness of your surroundings. Always, always, always trust your gut. So much of it does come down to that. I had a good gut feeling. I didn't have any red alarms or flags going off when I met this woman, and everything turned out okay. Maybe it could not have, maybe there's a situation, but I don't want to live in a scared way. We got to take some degree of healthy risk. But if ever your alarm bells are going off and there's no rational reason for it, I should just ignore the alarm bells because it just doesn't make logical sense. No, your intuition, your gut feeling does not have to be logical. It has permission to be illogical, and you just follow it. Be mindful of what you're sharing, how much you're sharing, but also strike a balance so that you are able to connect with people. If you are wanting to make friends abroad and meet people abroad, that does require a certain degree of vulnerability and connection and building trust with someone and information swapping. That's how we get to know people, right? But proceed with caution and be mindful of how much you're sharing and how quickly. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, go ahead and hit subscribe. I also have a detailed ebook called From Doubtful to Daring on how to plan your solo trip step by step, including a solo travel readiness assessment, how to set a budget, how to plan an itinerary that is actually going to work well for you, depending on the kind of solo traveler you are, and so much more. I will link that below. Enjoy, make friends. Cheers.